DJ Pro TV.
British couple among 14 dead in Italy cable car disaster. A morning like any other, the sun rose gently over the rugged peaks of the Piedmont region. Trees swayed under the soft spring wind, and holidaymakers filled the little town of Stresa, ready to ride the cable car up to Mount Mottarone. Among them were Robert and Angeline Norris, a British couple in their mid-50s who had spent years dreaming of visiting Italy. They had booked this trip to celebrate their 30th wedding anniversary. As they boarded the cable car with other tourists that Sunday morning, there was laughter, small talk, and the subtle crackle of excitement that comes with being lifted high above the earth. The sudden fall, the cable car was near the summit when disaster struck. Without warning, one of the supporting cables snapped. In a horrifying moment, the gondola swung wildly and then plummeted about 20 meters down the mountainside. According to Italian investigators, the emergency brake system, which could have saved the car from falling, had been deliberately deactivated with a forked device to avoid frequent service interruptions. Robert and Angeline were among the 14 people inside. Witnesses described a screeching noise, a silence, and then a deafening crash. Desperate rescues and grim discoveries, emergency services rushed to the wooded crash site where the wreckage lay mangled among pine trees. Firefighters climbed the steep slopes, struggling with debris and unstable terrain. Among the twisted metal, they found no signs of life for most passengers. Robert and Angeline were pronounced dead at the scene, along with 12 others, including 2 families and young children. The lone survivor was a 5-year-old boy, Eitan Biran, who lost his entire immediate family in the tragedy. The British Foreign Office confirmed the deaths of the couple and promised consular support to their grieving relatives. The shocking investigation as the shockwaves spread, attention turned to why the accident happened. Italian prosecutors opened a criminal investigation. It emerged that workers for the Ferrovia del Mottarone company had tampered with the braking system to avoid operational halts caused by the emergency brake engaging unexpectedly. 3 people were arrested days later: the cable car company's owner, its director, and the lead technician. They admitted to inserting the fork device on the brakes, knowing that it posed a serious risk, but believing the cable itself was strong enough to hold. It was a fatal gamble. Lives cut short, dreams shattered. Robert and Angeline had been described by friends back home in the Midlands as the most devoted couple you could imagine. Robert had recently retired from a 30-year career as a civil engineer. Angeline was a beloved community nurse. They had planned to spend their later years traveling Europe, starting with Italy's lakes and mountains. Their family, devastated, released a statement. They lived life with love and kindness, and the world is poorer without them. Vigils were held in their hometown. Neighbors placed flowers and handwritten notes on the couple's doorstep. Local churches rang their bells in mourning. The Stresa Mount cable car tragedy wasn't just a case of mechanical failure. It was a human tragedy fueled by negligence and greed. Investigators found that regular maintenance protocols had been ignored for months. National newspapers like Corriere della Sera and La Repubblica reported that operators were under pressure to keep the service running after a COVID-19 lockdown that devastated tourism revenues. Safety measures became secondary. Prime Minister Mario Draghi called the crash a profound wound for Italy. Calls grew louder for stricter enforcement of safety standards for all tourist infrastructure, a memory that demands justice. Today, a plaque stands near the crash site listing the names of all 14 victims, including Robert and Angeline Norris. The court cases are ongoing, with survivors and victims' families demanding not just punishment but change. They want Italy's cable cars, funiculars, and public attractions to never again sacrifice safety for profit. Robert and Angeline's story, along with the others who perished that day, has become a symbol of what can happen when responsibility is abandoned. Their dreams ended on a beautiful mountain under a blue Italian sky, but their memory pushes the world toward greater vigilance and care.
Thank you for watching DJ Pro TV.